There are moments in life when silence speaks louder than words, and this is one of those moments. If you are here right now, it is not by accident. Something within you already sensed that this message mattered. You may not be able to explain it clearly, but there is a quiet knowing rising inside your heart. That knowing is your inner guidance. It has been speaking to you gently, patiently, without pressure, waiting for you to slow down enough to hear it. You have spent so much time reacting to the world around you. Reacting to opinions, reacting to situations, reacting to expectations that were never meant to define you. Not every moment requires an answer, and not every situation demands your energy. Some moments are invitations to pause. Some situations are asking you to understand, not to respond. When you learn the difference, life begins to feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned. Your inner guidance does not shout. It does not rush you. It does not create confusion. It speaks in calm nudges, in subtle feelings, in moments of clarity that arrive when you are finally still. You may notice it when something no longer feels right, even if it once did. You may feel it when your heart resists a path that looks good on the outside but feels heavy inside. This guidance has always been with you, even during times when you felt lost. There were moments when you doubted yourself, thinking you needed outside validation to move forward. But understanding grows when you stop seeking answers everywhere else and begin listening within. Your soul already recognizes what brings peace and what drains it. You do not need to justify this awareness to anyone. Inner guidance is not logical in the way the world expects logic. It is intuitive, quiet, and deeply personal. You are being reminded now that growth does not always come from doing more. Sometimes growth comes from stepping back. From observing instead of reacting. From choosing understanding instead of impulsive emotion. When you pause, you create space for wisdom to surface. And in that space, clarity replaces confusion. Think about how many times you reacted quickly and later wished you had waited. Those moments were lessons, not failures. They were teaching you the power of restraint, the strength of calm, and the importance of discernment. Understanding is not weakness. It is strength under control. It is confidence rooted in self-awareness. Right now, you are being guided to trust this inner compass more than external noise. The world will always have opinions, expectations, and urgency. But your path requires presence, patience, and trust. You are allowed to move at your own pace. You are allowed to choose peace over chaos. You are allowed to protect your energy without guilt. As you continue listening, you will notice a shift. Decisions feel less forced. Emotions settle more quickly. You begin responding with wisdom instead of reacting with fear or pressure. This is alignment. This is growth happening quietly, steadily, and authentically. Let this message remind you that you do not need to explain every choice you make. You do not need to engage in every conflict. You do not need to react to everything that comes your way. Some things are meant to pass through you without disturbing your inner balance. Understanding allows that balance to remain intact. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are becoming more aware. And awareness is the foundation of every meaningful transformation. As you continue listening, something subtle begins to shift inside you. You may not notice it immediately, but there is a quiet calm slowly replacing the constant noise that once lived in your thoughts. This is what happens when you stop reacting to everything and begin understanding yourself more deeply. Inner guidance becomes clearer when the mind is no longer crowded with urgency and pressure. There was a time when you believed every emotion demanded instant action. Every thought felt important. Every feeling felt final. But wisdom grows when you realize that emotions are messages, not commands. They arrive to inform you, not to control you. When you allow them to pass without judgment, understanding naturally rises in their place. Your inner guidance has always been patient with you. Even when you ignored it, even when you doubted it, even when you chose paths that led to exhaustion instead of peace, it never left. It simply waited. It waited for the moment when you would be ready to listen without fear, without overthinking, without needing instant answers. You are learning now that clarity does not come from force. It comes from alignment. When something is meant for you, it does not require constant struggle. When a decision is right, it carries a sense of quiet certainty, even if the outcome is still unknown. This certainty does not come from logic alone. It comes from within. There are situations in your life right now that feel confusing not because they are wrong, but because you are being asked to pause. Not everything is meant to be solved immediately. Some experiences are meant to teach patience. Some relationships are meant to reveal boundaries. Some delays are meant to protect you from choices you would later regret. Understanding is the ability to sit with uncertainty without panic. It is trusting that answers will come when the timing is right. Inner guidance often speaks after you stop demanding clarity and start allowing it. This is why stillness is powerful. In stillness, truth becomes audible. You may notice that certain things no longer excite you the way they once did. This is not loss. This is growth. Your soul evolves, and with that evolution comes a natural shift in priorities. What once felt important may now feel draining. What once felt urgent may now feel unnecessary. This is your inner guidance refining your path. You are also learning that peace is not something you earn by pleasing others. Peace comes from honoring yourself. From choosing what aligns with your values, even when it means disappointing expectations that were never yours to carry. Understanding yourself deeply allows you to stand firm without becoming defensive. As you continue on this path, reactions soften. You respond with intention instead of impulse. You listen more than you speak. You observe more than you judge. This does not make you weak. It makes you grounded. Grounded people move through life with quiet confidence because they are not constantly seeking validation. Remember, your inner guidance does not rush you. It does not compare you to others. It does not pressure you to become someone else. It gently reminds you of who you already are. The more you trust it, the less chaos you invite into your life. You are being guided toward a deeper understanding of yourself, and with that understanding comes freedom. Freedom from unnecessary reactions. Freedom from emotional exhaustion. Freedom from the need to control outcomes. This is the kind of peace that stays with you, even when life feels uncertain. As you move deeper into this message, you may begin to recognize a familiar pattern within yourself. There were moments in your life when you reacted quickly, not because you wanted to, but because you felt you had to. Silence once felt uncomfortable. Stillness once felt like weakness. But now, something has changed. You are beginning to understand that calm is not avoidance. Calm is awareness. Inner guidance grows stronger when you stop fighting yourself. For a long time, you may have questioned why certain things affected you so deeply, while others seemed to pass through you without effort. This sensitivity was never a flaw. It was always a signal. You feel deeply because you are meant to understand deeply. And understanding requires space, patience, and honesty with yourself. There is wisdom in learning when not to respond. Not every message deserves your energy. Not every situation deserves your explanation. When you choose understanding over reaction, you protect your inner balance. You begin to see clearly which things truly matter and which things only create noise. You are now learning to listen beneath the surface. Beneath words. Beneath emotions. Beneath expectations. Inner guidance speaks softly, often through intuition, gentle discomfort, or sudden clarity that cannot be logically explained. It does not shout. It does not force. It waits until you are quiet enough to hear it. You may notice that your perspective is changing. Situations that once felt personal now feel instructive. You no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, you ask, "What is this teaching me?" This shift is powerful. It transforms struggle into insight and confusion into awareness. There are moments when slowing down feels unnatural, especially in a world that rewards urgency. But your soul does not operate on external timelines. It moves at a pace that allows growth to happen without damage. When you honor that pace, you stop burning yourself out trying to keep up with expectations that were never designed for you. Understanding also means accepting that not everyone will understand you. And that is okay. Your path is personal. Your inner guidance is tailored to your experiences, your emotions, your lessons. Comparison only distracts you from the clarity that already exists within you. You are becoming more comfortable with unanswered questions. This does not mean you have given up. It means you trust the process enough to allow answers to arrive naturally. When something is meant to stay in your life, it will align with your peace, not disturb it constantly. Notice how your reactions are softer now. You pause before responding. You reflect before deciding. You breathe before assuming. This is growth. This is emotional maturity. This is the result of choosing understanding over impulse. Your inner guidance is also teaching you boundaries. Not walls, but clear lines that protect your energy. You are learning that saying no can be an act of self-respect, not selfishness. That stepping back can be an act of wisdom, not fear. As this awareness deepens, you begin to feel more grounded. Less pulled in multiple directions. Less overwhelmed by other people's emotions. More centered in your own truth. This grounded state allows you to move forward with confidence, even when the future is not fully visible. Understanding does not rush outcomes. It prepares you to receive them. When the right moment arrives, you will recognize it not by urgency, but by peace. That peace is your inner guidance confirming alignment. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are learning how to trust yourself at a deeper level. And this trust will guide you more accurately than any external noise ever could. By now, you may feel a quiet shift inside you that is difficult to explain in words but impossible to ignore. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is calm, steady, and grounding. This is the space where true understanding begins to settle. When you stop reacting to everything outside of you, your inner world finally has room to speak clearly. There was a time when you believed strength meant always responding, always defending, always proving. But now you are learning a deeper truth. Strength is knowing when silence protects your peace. Strength is allowing clarity to arrive instead of forcing conclusions. Strength is trusting that not every moment requires immediate action. Your inner guidance has been patient with you. Even you doubted yourself, it stayed. Even when you ignored it, it waited. It never judged you for reacting in the past, because it understood you were still learning. Growth is not about regret. Growth is about awareness, and awareness is exactly where you are now. You are beginning to recognize patterns more easily. You see which situations drain you and which ones nourish you. You feel the difference between emotional noise and meaningful connection. This awareness allows you to choose understanding instead of emotional exhaustion. There is also a quiet healing happening within you. Old wounds that once demanded constant attention are slowly loosening their grip. Not because they disappeared, but because you finally stopped fighting them. Understanding allows healing to happen gently, without force. You may notice that you are becoming more selective with your energy. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. You no longer chase validation from places that cannot offer it. This is not distance. This is discernment. This is inner wisdom taking the lead. As your connection with your inner guidance deepens, you start trusting your timing. You stop comparing your journey with others. You understand that your path is unfolding exactly as it should, at a pace that allows you to grow without losing yourself. Understanding also teaches acceptance. Acceptance of people as they are. Acceptance of moments as they come. Acceptance of yourself as a work in progress. This acceptance does not make you passive. It makes you peaceful. You are learning that calm decisions last longer than emotional ones. That clarity creates better outcomes than urgency. That listening deeply leads to wiser choices than reacting quickly. Your inner guidance is not trying to change who you are. It is trying to reveal who you have always been beneath the noise, the expectations, and the pressure. When you listen to it, you feel aligned. When you ignore it, you feel restless. This contrast is your compass. The more you honor this guidance, the more confident you become in your own judgment. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop handing your power to situations that do not deserve it. You begin to move through life with quiet confidence rather than emotional force. There is a sense of peace that comes when you realize you do not need to react to prove your worth. Your worth was never dependent on your response. It has always existed within you, unchanged and steady. As this message reaches its completion, allow yourself to rest in this understanding. You do not need to rush forward. You do not need to figure everything out today. Clarity unfolds naturally when you remain present and open. Your inner guidance will continue to speak, gently and consistently. Trust it. Return to it. Let it guide you not through fear, but through understanding. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to sit quietly and reflect on what your inner guidance has been trying to show you lately. Stay with this feeling, allow it to settle, and continue listening. Clarity grows when you give it space.